You looking for a big girl that likes to throw a weight around and might bite your fingers? Just get a Garand. Today we're going to be talking about my Stoeger M3000 and more broadly about competition 3-gun shotguns in general, as well as the competition itself. So if you want to jump to a particular spot, this is going to be kind of an intro history how we got here. This time is going to be me ranting against the 3-gun competition itself, and this time is some general thoughts on my Stoeger M3000. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's get into it. This is my Stoeger M3000 and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Which is why I'm finally gonna sell it. About 6 or 7 years ago, I got into competition 3-gun shooting pretty hard. I'm sure some of you guys did too. It was a huge fad, got into it hook, line, and sinker. And by sinker, I mean I sunk a shit ton of money into guns and gear and ammo. Stepping back to 2014-ish, somewhere around there, if you wanted to get into competition 3-gun shooting, you needed a good shotgun. It ideally should have been semi-auto, and it needed to accept an extended magazine tube. That leaves you with basically two options. Option number one, you've got gas guns like Berettas, 1187s, Versamaxes, things like that, or you had the inertia side, which would be Benelli. One problem though is that both options were expensive as fuck. I've had Benelli for a long time. I actually had a youth Montefeltro in 20 way back in the day, and my current bird gun is a Montefeltro 12 28-inch. It's great, love it, shoot the hell out of it. That's like an $1,100, $1,200 shotgun. But Benelli decided to break it off in everybody by taking a recoil system they hadn't really changed in 20 years. Don't get me wrong, it's a great recoil system, but they haven't really touched it. And they took the M1 Super 90 12 gauge and then made a couple of little bitty baby tweaks and made it the M2 and then charged $1,500 fucking for it. It was the only 12 gauge that would accept the extended magazine tube that you would screw on. My Montefeltro, even though it's 12 gauge semi-auto, same system, you can't extend the magazine tube. The way that the tube attaches to the, I guess, magazine tube lug on the underside of the barrel, you can't attach that on a Montefeltro or anything like that. It has to be the M2 or up. So you basically, all your options started at $1,500. And in addition to that, you couldn't buy, because of 922R restrictions, you couldn't buy an extended magazine from the factory. So you had to drop another $100, $150 on an extended tube. If you actually wanted to be 922R compliant, you needed a USA made tube, you needed a USA made sear disconnector follower, some shit like that. There was a whole handful of parts that you were supposed to have if you were actually gonna pay attention to 922R. So that shit added up. So all of a sudden, you got more money in a 12 gauge shotgun that you're not gonna use for anything other than 3-gun than you do in your fucking AR. It was crazy, and everybody fucking did it. So in the middle of all this madness, somebody comes in with a sensible offering. Actually, there's two people came in with a sensible offering. Enter the Stoeger M3000 and the Mossberg JM Pro. So the Stoeger M3000 was basically a shameless knockoff of a Benelli M2 or M1 Super 90. It was a recoil operated gun. All they did was basically reverse on the bolt assembly. They basically reversed how it goes. Like Benelli's have a tongue. I'll roll in some footage. They've got a tongue that goes back into a tube in the stock, and on the Stoegers, they basically have the forks that go forward and wrap around the magazine tube on the front. The bolt itself looks almost identical, because it is almost identical. This is probably just a ripoff, is what it is. But they came in at like $600. So it's less than half the price of what an M2 was. And if all you're gonna be doing is shooting this competition with it, who gives a shit, as long as it works? So that was Stoeger's offering. The other offering was the JM Pro, which was a gas gun. And since it was made in the States, I guess, it was able to skirt 922R, and it came with a tube on it from the factory for like $550 or something like that. So when they first came out, I was 100% gonna buy the JM Pro until the range that I was shooting at brought a couple in for everybody to test because they were doing a big push, and they shit the bed left, right, and center. I'm sure they're better now. I'm sure they've had 6, 7, 8 years to improve it. But at the time, everybody wanted to give them their money, but they just kept on fucking up. So the only reasonable offering left at the time was the Stoeger M3000. All right, everybody stop. Stop right there. See how far in the weeds we've gotten? See how far down the path of trying to pick the right gear that we've gotten that we never actually stopped to think, what's at the end of the tunnel? Is the entire premise of the shotgun portion of 3-gun even make any sense at all? Spoiler alert, it fucking doesn't. It's fucking stupid. It is so fucking stupid. It's like the show Lost. Remember how we got to the end of Lost and you and all your buddies had been watching it and everybody had so much fucking time invested? But at the end of the day, Lost didn't make any fucking sense. But people wouldn't admit it because it was fucking dumb. This is me admitting that the shotgun portion of 3-gun is dumb and I bought into it and now I'm selling all my shit. Whew. It felt good. Felt good to say. Felt good to say, guys. I gotta admit. Okay. So I threw that out there. Let's turn the corner. The entire premise of this channel is to have fun while shooting. So I'm not going to shit on everything. I'm just going to outline reasons why I don't think the shotgun portion of 3-gun makes a whole lot of sense. If you personally, Jim or Bob or Terry or Darnell, whatever the fuck your name is, if you like the shotgun portion of 3-gun, by all means do it. I know some people who shoot competition shotgun only matches, like tactical shotgun matches, because they love it. If that's what you like, don't listen to me. I'm just a fucking asshole in front of a camera. Me personally, I don't like it, and I'm gonna outline why. Let's go. Number one, shotguns are for small, fast-moving targets. That's why they have hundreds of pellets instead of a single bullet. So instead of having the shotgun portion be for moving targets, we're gonna make it for stationary targets. Not only that, the stationary targets that we're gonna use were explicitly designed to fly. You know, some fucking aerospace engineer sat down and was like, oh, here's the proper dome shape to achieve perfect flight of the clay bird. He's gotta be French, right? You know, some French motherfucker made that thing up. Anyway, they sat there and designed this thing and they're so proud of it. And then you're gonna put it on a little metal stake and fucking dust it at 8 yards with 1 1/8 ounce and 7.5. What? What do you do? You might as well have made a fucking wheelchair. You know what? That's what we should do. Instead of putting them on stakes, we're gonna have little wheelchairs that you put the clay bird in so that you can shoot your disabled pigeons. The kind of person that shoots a disabled bird, I think Sarah McLachlan would have something to say for that. In the arms of an angel. For real though, there's only generally one type of shot that actually moves in the shotgun portion of 3-gun, and that is the popper activated flipper. So you got a popper, you tag a popper, hits down, hits the flipper, flips a clay up, or they've got some like the little spring-loaded guy with little rubber bandy dudes that shoot it up. They're going straight up in the air. That's all it does, is it goes straight up, which I guess is better than nothing, but it doesn't represent anything tactically unless you're shooting at fucking Spider-Man. And it doesn't accurately represent anything you'd see in a field situation. Like if you look at trap, birds are flying away from you because that's representing flushing birds that would be flying away, and skeet would be representing like crossing shots of waterfowl or upland game or something like that, or in sporting clays is basically the continuation of skeet out into more real world situations. What the fuck is a flipper representing? A drone? A drone in your backyard taking pictures of your wife while she's laying out by the pool? Ain't nobody gonna see Betsy's titties except for me. And my titties. Number two, second reason. Here we go. Second reason is the reloading portion of 3-gun shotgun is fucking stupid. It's a new skill, which is good. It takes practice, which is also good. It's not easy. It's just good. It takes dexterity. All of these are good things. Pushing the boundaries. Fuck, 10 years ago, quad loads didn't exist. I am proud of people for doing it. It's great. I think that's all great, except for the fact that it has zero application outside of exactly what you're doing in 3-gun shotgun. You're never gonna use it in the field for hunting because you're generally limited to 2 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber for any migratory game birds. So you could, A, you can't even quad load if you wanted to. B, I guess you could technically run like a shot shell rig and grab 2 at a time and jam them in there, but you would look like a douche. A game warden would see you and he wouldn't be able to write you a ticket. He would just punch you in the dick, right in the fucking dick, and you would deserve it. And you would know that you would deserve it because you've got a chest rig while you're bird hunting. Don't be a douche. Don't be a douche. The second reason you might use it is like some kind of tactical home defense thing, which is admittedly not what I'm about. I'm fucking, whatever. Something goes bump in the night, you grab a shotgun. That's your nightstand gun, shotgun. Great option. Are you gonna put on a chest rig? No, you're fucking not. You know why? Because those shot shells are cold and your titties, which are now out because you're just wearing boxers. You just got boxers on, bare chest, and your fucking titties are gonna have to come in contact with cold room temperature shotgun shells. Got the AC on, they're nice and cool, and that fucking metal portion of the fucking, the very top of the shell is gonna fucking just the rim is gonna just right across the fucking center line of one of your titties, and it's gonna be cold, really uncomfortable. You're not gonna like it, so you're never gonna put it on. So since you're never gonna put it on, why the fuck would you ever train with all this fucking gear for something you're never gonna do? Just don't do it. It's done. Gripe number 3, then I swear to God, done. No more Debbie Downer. I'll get off my fucking high horse. The sheer volume of shit required to shoot 3-gun is fucking astounding. By the time you've got your pistol, rifle, shotgun, ammo for all 3, your belt set up, holster, your shot shell carrier, your fucking mag shit, everything else. Some people are running multiple belts depending on what's going on. You got a fucking chest rig and a fucking bandolier and a flashbang stuck up your ass. It's too much shit. There is too much shit. The last time I went to a match, the match director was like, hey man, we've put this match together and we're very proud of it. All right, we're very proud of it, and we like to think of ourselves as a little bit ahead of the curve. So in order to prevent people from having a stroke, we're gonna give you 2 options. Option number 1, we have requisitioned several outdoor strollers built for adventurous mothers of 3. So they're outdoor triplet strollers that you can put all your shit in. So you can use that to transport your stuff. Option number 2, we went in under cover of darkness and dismantled some of those flat escalators that you have at the airport. And we looped the entire match with the flat escalators so you can just get from bay to bay. Trying to help out, guys. Trying to help out. Seriously, if you have to have a fucking wagon, if you have to have a wagon like a 6-year-old, like a radio flyer, to pull bay to bay to get your shit there, you have too much shit, and that's the problem. This competition requires too much shit. All right, some quick commentary on the Stoeger M3000, just in case you're wondering. I've had great luck with it. It's worked great for me. You do need to follow the recommendations on there. I want to say it's like 3 1/4 dram. If that's wrong, I'll roll in a correction here. I want to say it's like 3 1/4 dram loads. I basically shoot 1 ounce and 1/8, 7.5s or number 6s. I think it's Federal's field and target stuff. It's worked great for me. What the fuck is it running? Like 1050, 1100, something like that. Fuck, I can't remember. Anyway, go with recommendations of the velocity and or dram requirement that you would have in the manual, and that will make it cycle reliably. If you do run some light recoil 12 gauge loads and you don't absolutely have it rock solid stuffed into your fucking shoulder, you're gonna have a problem. It's not going to have enough recoil to properly clear the ejection port, and you're gonna get some kind of malfunction or hang up. And that generally happens when you run it really fast. Never happens on the first round, obviously. But if you're running it real quick and it's kind of bouncing off your shoulder a little bit, that could cause it to not fully clear and you have malfunction. Run the ammo specified, it works great. I have not had any reliability issues with it. I do have a buddy who has run the dog shit out of his, and he blew a couple bolts apart. But I mean, he shot like fucking cases and cases and cases of shit. I think he's had it fixed twice and finally got rid of it. Most people will probably not shoot it that much. Actually, I say that, fuck, I don't know, maybe you will. Maybe you will shoot it that much. In that case, if you're gonna shoot it that fucking much, go out and cough up the money for Benelli, because you're gonna spend more money on ammo than you will on a gun. So if after all that, you still wanna get into 3-gun competitions, you really can't go wrong with the Stoeger M3000. It's a great entry-level semi-auto shotgun. Just make sure you follow the manufacturer's recommendations when it comes to ammo requirements, with the minimum dram to get it to cycle reliably. There's a lot of aftermarket parts, bits and pieces, tubes, easy to add on. Only thing we didn't talk about is potentially opening up the loading port, which I would suggest you do if you get serious about it and you want to do quad loads. It really makes it easy to do. There's a lot of videos out there already about people doing it with Dremel tools, die grinders, file sets. So that's something you may want to look into so that you can shoot your disabled pigeons. You fucking monster.
Bye.